Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Andrew, and thank you for joining us for Hebrews Podcast.
where we talk about our personal experiences being dads and the day-to-day life of raising kids.
And coffee.
Lots of
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going.
All right.
It is a good morning.
It's a great morning.
Got some coffee.
We're going to make our own today.
Yeah, through the percolator. That's what this thing's called. I've made a, we always called it campfire coffee, which is with a percolator and you set it over the campfire or in the campfire.
Yeah.
But I've never done it with this contraption.
Ah, yeah. My brother, when he went to interview for his work in England, brought me home a present, and it was a mini one of these. It was like a one serving,
One serving.
and it was great. It was really cool to make. That was my first experience. I was,
Okay.
let's see, that was what, 11 or 12 years ago by now.
Wow.
So,
And you said these are normally used for espresso?
yeah,
Okay.
normally espresso because it makes a smaller batch.
Right.
It's not obviously a full pot of
Yeah.
coffee. They might have them that big. I don't know. But if I'm wrong, just let me know.
Just
'Cause
we're
I
gonna
don't know.
stretch it for 2 cups too, and we got the old Mile 22 roastery beans.
Mile 22 Roastery is a local bean roasting place. They make fun of the beans all day and all night until they're roasted
That's
thoroughly. And it's pretty cool. I didn't know there was a local roastery.
Yeah.
And
These were roasted not too long ago.
no,
couple
I
months
actually
ago.
bought it. It was like early December when I bought them.
So it was only like a week or 2 old.
It was
So
it was
these
fresh.
are
They were baby
fresh.
beans. Yep,
Our baby beans.
freshly roasted.
So-
Still good.
Should be good. Should be fun.
Excited. What's the flavor on that? What does it say? I can't remember. Is it
It
their
just
signature
says-
blend?
100% Arabic signature blend.
It's
Yep.
their signature blend.
Signature
so it should
blend.
be good. If they think it's good enough to be their signature,
Well, it better be good then.
yeah.
I have a good feeling. It's
So
gonna
this
be good.
contraption, I've never used a campfire,
Yeah.
like a camping thing.
Yeah, so it's just a little stove that
It's got little feet on top to
and
hold.
you can flip them both ways depending on what size you're putting on top.
We got a big thing.
So we'll just put this, we'll start her up a little. There we go. And then just set that on there carefully. And then how do we know when this puppy's done? I'd pull it backwards maybe a little bit. There we go.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Don't know. Haven't done this
All right.
ever this way.
Well, we're going to try to not touch the table.
Yeah, we don't want to knock it over because there's
We've got
things we don't
devices,
want to
we've
catch on
got-
fire.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, this should be fun.
I'm
We'll
excited
see.
to have some coffee.
And if it turns into an utter fail, well, then
We know what to do next time, or
Clickbait.
not to do.
Not
Clickbait.
clickbait.
Watch two guys light a church on fire. Nope.
Well, while this is boiling, we could just kind of talk about our weeks. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Been a minute since we've gotten together. I know my week has been crazy because the week before when we had talked, we were talking about how crazy things were just with. Sorry, I'm gonna turn this down just a hair. I feel like we shouldn't have it.
All the way. Yeah. Usually a good rule of thumb is if the fire's on the outside of the pan,
It's not a good.
it's too hot. Put the flames down a little bit.
So, but we've had I had a big event last week. 2 big events actually.
Two.
Yeah, we had one big event where actually 20 students decided, not from our church, but from the city, that they want to make a lifelong decision to follow Jesus, which is awesome.
That's
and we're
amazing. That's what you
super
want.
excited about that. And then we had our winter camp, which was a blast up in Dayup.
A winter blast.
A winter blast. A winter blast. It was fun. Played
Mhm.
some broom ball.
Nice. You
There
didn't.
was some sledding.
You didn't hurt any kids while you were playing broom ball, did you?
I feel so bad. That poor girl.
You crushed a
I
child.
crushed a child. It was
Oh,
a total
no.
accident. Well, you're on ice, and
Well,
she
now
went
she's
to-
on ice. She probably broke some bones.
Yeah, well, it's like broom ball to me. It's not like hockey. It's more like, especially because you don't have skates.
Nope.
And I grew up playing roller hockey, like in the street, like street hockey. So I was having fun. I was trying to do all the fun tricks, spinning and stuff on the ice. And so I'm dribbling, or not dribbling, but going up the ice. And this girl, like I tapped it in front of me, and I don't know why, she stepped in front of me to try to poke it away.
Good thinking.
And she slipped first, and I'm
Oh,
like, I
no.
can't stop. Like, what am I gonna do? And she's okay. Her youth pastor was like, she's fine. Like, she's okay.
Yeah.
I just felt so bad. I was like, did you get some Tylenol? Can I get you some Tylenol? Can I get you something? She's like, I'm okay.
Oh,
I'll be
no.
okay. But she didn't like get. the pain didn't show up till afterwards. So it was
Yeah.
like the adrenaline was just pumping. Right
Of
through it.
course.
But it was fun still. I feel so bad, but it happens. It's an accident.
Broomball's exciting.
Broomball is quite fun.
Yeah. So
yes.
my week was pretty packed too. Me and my wife have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
All their birthdays are within like a month of each other. So we have early January and then 2 in early February.
There you go.
So today is actually my daughter Olivia's birthday. She's 6 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. She's happy to be 6, and she's just excited. She's a
Yeah.
happy kid, always happy-go-lucky. But we celebrated Emily's birthday, my oldest, who's 8. Last Sunday, we had a birthday party at the ice rink because
There you
she's a
go.
hockey player,
There you
and
go.
she wanted to invite all her friends and show them how to skate and teach them how to skate.
Oh.
So we had a good time at the ice rink, and yeah, it was. No one got crushed at that ice rink.
because I wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you weren't invited. No. And then next week we have my daughter Eliza, her first birthday.
First birthday.
So we're excited. Birthdays
Yeah.
are all around here.
Birthdays are fun. Birthdays are
They
super
are,
fun.
especially with kids. It's just fun to see them excited and happy
Oh, yeah.
to be getting older.
Oh yeah.
It's
And
wild though.
Until they get older, and then
Until
they're
they
like,
get older.
I don't want another birthday.
Yeah, I want a PS5 for my birthday. It's like, no, you don't.
There you go.
Dad's getting that. So
Well, yeah, we just want to try something new.
Yeah.
We've been talking about making some coffee on the podcast.
it's our
and so
plan. Yeah.
I don't know if you listeners that are listening on Spotify or I don't know if Apple iTunes is working.
I
quite
have
yet.
not figured out the Apple iTunes. I will take a look at it this
Oh,
week
it's
and
all
try
right.
to figure it out.
We've got
It is on Spotify. It's on Podbean. We have our own website if you want to
Yep.
go. Check
Yep,
the link
yep.
down below. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to those or download those. You can listen to them in your car
Yeah.
while you're driving to work.
It's my favorite thing to do.
I
Like
do.
if I'm going somewhere, I'll just throw on either our podcast or
Mhm.
another podcast, and especially on like long commutes. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, got nothing better to do. And
Exactly.
I love turning on music. Like my go-to is usually worship music,
Mhm.
but I also love like, especially when it's if I know there's gonna be some traffic, that's where I'm like, it gives me more time to digest the
Sure.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, and it also makes me think about not traffic because
not traffic. Yeah.
I do get a little road ragey
Oh,
when
yeah.
people don't. And I feel bad. I'm trying to work on it because it's not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone
there
makes a
is-
stupid decision driving in a car. You can't help but be mad at him.
And there's nothing worse than, especially when you're on a long road trip
Mm-hmm.
and then you hit traffic.
Oh no, traffic.
It just makes you want to.
That's what
Just
I
punch the
honestly
ceiling.
love about where we moved here in Wisconsin is I moved from New England where there's traffic all the time. We had beach traffic every day of the summer, and beach traffic is annoying because everyone just wants to get to the beach,
Yeah.
and you just want to get to work or
To
to,
wo- yeah.
home or to
To
school or
normal day
something,
in
and
life.
you're like, just go, please, figure it out. Go to the beach some other time. It was terrible, but here there's like traffic is 4 cars stopped at a red light for
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
It's like,
In the
oh
summer-
no.
In the summer, it can get a little worse.
A
but
little bit.
Definitely nowhere in comparison to like,
no.
out east or yeah.
Yeah. So here's something I just thought about. Where are we going to put this very hot?
We'll just set it back up on there.
Okay, that's not a bad idea, I guess.
And turn the heat off and then set it back
Turn
up
the
on
heat
there.
off, yeah.
I didn't think about that. I just thought of it on the spot. I was
There
like,
you
"Oh,
go.
this-
He's a quick thinker.
Otherwise, I'll find something. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out for sure.
All right. Well, I don't know if do we need to check this? Like, how do you?
I have zero clue.
Let me just lift it.
I kind of assumed that the pressure would come out here. Is it hot? It's not hot. Not an idea.
We'll just let it sit.
You
for
can take a look
second.
in the top and see if stuff's coming out the top. I
But
think
if,
we'd be able
if
to
it comes
hear
up,
it.
but if it comes up the top, it's supposed to hit this thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like if I lift this up, coffee's just gonna
Maybe.
spraying out.
You might be right, but you might be wrong.
We'll leave it for now, and we can kind of go into a little bit of what
Or
we're.
we could talk about like silly questions or something.
Yeah, we could do that.
I don't know.
So-
I don't want to just jump into our main topic here and then have this start yelling at us. So
That's true. Does it
Stroke
like
us.
whistle or
I
something?
had zero idea. We should have tested this before we just put a recording device in front of us and said, "Hey, let's hope this works."
Nah, this is fun. This is adventure. Turn the heat up a little bit. I'm gonna try to lift this up and not touch the table. This is gonna be bad.
Don't knock it over. I'm gonna move my iPad.
Oh, it's not even coming up yet.
Okay,
We can turn up the heat a little bit.
turn it up.
Well, we can kind of talk about our what we've got looking forward to this week.
Yeah.
If you've got, I mean, you already kind of hinted at it a little bit.
Yeah.
I know we've got a pretty cool event coming up on Saturday.
No
actually.
way.
This Saturday, where we're doing a family fun day out on the ice. There's going to be broom ball, and
That's
I am
exciting.
going to play goalie. So I don't
You're gonna be
crush some
goalie. That's a
kids.
good idea. Yeah, don't skate
Yeah.
hard at the kids or walk hard. I guess.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be super fun. We're gonna have a good time out on the ice. It should be beautiful weather too.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
getting
always fun.
warmer, and then it's gonna totally surprise us by snowing like 3 feet and then getting
Yeah.
back to like negative 30.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Me and my family this week are actually gonna go visit some friends who moved to southern Wisconsin.
Ooh.
So Nina went to med school with them.
Cool.
They both actually were in med school at the same time. So
That'll be fun.
by
That'll
them
be
both, I mean there's a husband and wife, not
Okay.
Nina and them. Well, actually, Nina and them went to med school at the same time too.
Cool.
But
Cool,
it's
cool.
exciting. The girls are looking forward to it as well because they just like driving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always fun. It's always fun seeing friends, and especially when you go to school with them, because it's like there's that bond. Like I know
Yeah.
I had that with like my soccer buddies, and I feel like it's even more so with like the doctor world.
Oh
because
yeah,
you
they went
actually,
through.
Yeah, you
they
go,
went through some stuff.
Yeah.
We saw some stuff
You
back
saw
then. So that should be a fun time. They have some kids too.
There we go. Now it's going.
Oh yeah, look, the steam's coming up.
Now it's going. Look at that. Just need a little.
It smells
extra.
great.
It does
if you
smell
could smell
really
it,
good.
oh man.
That smells really good. We got our. We could talk about our little cups here.
Oh
got
yeah,
our
we talked about them last time a little
somewhat
bit.
matching cups.
Our matching cups made in
that are-
China, right?
Yeah, they're awesome. Lainey's jealous. She was like,
They are-
"I want
they
a
are
cup
really
like
nice
that. That's
cups.
really cool." Oh, is this too hot now?
I don't think it's too hot.
As I turn it up higher,
Higher.
I just don't want it to boil over.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because I'm not worried about because I'll just grab this and lift it up.
Yeah.
And our stuff is far enough away. I'm just worried about the experience.
The experience.
This
The
is kind
smell
of
is good.
It smells really good. Nice. I think it's a dark roast.
It
Is
is.
it-
I think it's a medium.
Medium?
A signature blend's usually like a light, better to drink, right?
Yeah.
It's something
Yeah.
that everybody likes. I personally like the dark roast stuff,
Yes. I 100% agree.
but I have an espresso machine at home. I don't know if I talked about this last time.
I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember
I know
either,
you
but
told me about it.
it's fairly new, so that's why. But I've been using a lot of dark roast beans, and I have espresso beans, and I try other dark roast beans. And It's
Okay.
cool. It's fun to mess around with that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But yeah, this should be pretty good. Should be interesting. We got we won't get into it right now, but we're going to talk about our favorite Bible stories as we
Yeah.
drink this delicious coffee that we are brewing up right now. I know I'm excited for my story, and I know you're pretty excited about some of the stories
Yeah.
you got.
Yeah, I have one story. I did pick a couple that I could have picked, but I didn't. So I kind of cheated. It's like the top three,
Top
but
three.
one's real.
We could talk about those top two, the other two.
We could talk about the
can
top.
talk
Yeah,
about
here
the
we
other
go.
two.
Some honorable mentions for
Honorable,
Scott's
there we go.
for Scott's Bible story is that when he's like, "Let's pick your favorite Bible story," I was like, the first thought that came to my head, this isn't public knowledge. Well, it's not public knowledge, but I haven't said it. I went to a Christian high school,
Mm-hmm.
and we studied from the King James version, not because they
Oh.
were King James only, but because they wanted unity. They wanted everyone to remember like the same verses and stuff.
Yeah.
So, as of course high school boys do, we found a verse in the Bible, First Kings, I think it's 16:11. I'm going to read it out loud here. Young ones, close your ears. And it came to pass when he began to shake the table,
Yeah, I saw that.
and it came to pass when he began to reign, as soon as he sat on his throne, that he slew all the house of Baasha. He left him not one that pisseth against a wall, neither of his kinsfolk nor his friends. So, of course, high school boys loved that the Bible said
Yeah.
pisseth.
On the wall. On the wall.
Yeah, not in the toilet, not in the bathhouse, not in the bed sheets, on the wall. Yeah, this is funny,
Yeah.
but it's not really a Bible story. It's just young boys being
Young
funny.
boys.
It stopped smoking. Should we be concerned?
I was going to say, I'm going to check that
Yeah.
while you tell your other.
Well, I'll talk about the second story. The second story is genuinely a favorite Bible story that could have been in contention for my favorite. Is the story of Ehud and the king Eglon. Ehud, of course, was a judge back in the
Oh,
time
yeah.
of judges. Is that good?
I don't know if all of it's out, but it's looking good in there.
Okay. So Ehud was a judge in the time of
Yep.
the judges. And he was commissioned or tasked or whatever you want to say to kill the king of Moab, the king of the Moabites. His name was Eglon. And So the story goes, he snuck in like a secret spy mission, and he didn't have his sword sheathed on the correct side that everyone keeps their swords sheathed.
Because he's left-handed.
Because he's left-handed, or I mean, he might not have been left-handed. There might have been a deformity or something. It's up for interpretation of the Hebrew, the writing and stuff. But anyway, he had his sword sheathed on his left side. So when the guards checked to make sure he was unarmed in this escapade, they didn't see a sword, right? And he snuck in. I believe the king was sitting in his toilet room, right?
Yep. He was
taking a dump, relieving himself. He's a man of a lot of free time in the bathroom. He probably wasn't playing Angry Birds. And Ehud walked up to him, and he wanted to get his attention before he murdered him for some reason. I don't understand that. But he said out loud, "I have a secret for you." And he unsheathed his sword and stabbed the fat king right in the stomach. Yeah, he's fat. It says it in the Bible.
Yeah.
And of course he killed Eglon.
Yeah.
That was Judges 3:12 through 20. If you want to read that story.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about that story is the fact that the Bible goes into the detail of how the sword just gets in the sword and his hand all the way down to the hilt.
All the way. Yeah, he's not a skinny man.
Engulfed. Yep. It's like, whoo, big dude.
Big dude.
A lot of force.
Yeah.
Dead king.
That was a secret. He had that secret for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like
coffee rocking.
It looks like we're done. So you go ahead first. I will.
Pull your cup over this way here.
Okay, I'll move this too.
Oh, that's a lot.
There's a lot in there.
My fingers are burning from steam.
Something's happening. It's percolating.
It's still percolating.
Smells really good though. I've never had coffee like this before.
Is that even? I can't see from this angle.
It looks about even, and it's still going. So we'll just set it up on top here.
I can feel a little water in the bottom here.
Yeah, we'll just leave it on there. Oh, that's right in your face. Here. It's not on there centered either.
Is this hot?
The can isn't, no.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got this smells really good. I'm excited for this. You can sit on that paper towel.
I don't want to spill my computer.
Oh, that would not. We're professionals, I swear. I promise. Promise we are professionals. Or just sit on it, pull out a piece of cardboard. The fire's not on, so it won't burn it. Burn it. Oh, man. I'm excited. I've been looking at one of these for a minute, and now we got the opportunity to drink from one. And if I like it, well, then I got another way to make some coffee.
It looks way too hot for me to put my mouth on.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have to wait a second. So I can go first and share my favorite story while we wait for our coffee to cool down.
Let's do it
a little bit. And my favorite story is actually it's very close to the one that you just shared. It's actually right after it.
No way, Judges, huh?
The Book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 31. It's the dude that I'm going to be talking about. His name is Shamgar. He's one of my favorites, and I'll tell you why. So it literally, this is the whole story right here. So Judges 3:31. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who killed 600 of the Philistines with an ox goad, and he also saved Israel. And that's it. Like, that's his whole story in the Bible. Like, it's almost like Jesus wept. Like, that's it. Like, it's not a super short verse, but that's all that Shamgar gets. But what I love about it is there's three big things that kind of strike me, and that I've heard people preach about this. I've talked about Shamgar before. Is it hot?
That smells kind of burnt.
Oh, it is.
It smells a little bit like toasty.
Oh, we're still gonna try it.
It smells like a campfire. Sorry,
there we
go.
There
I'm not
we go.
interrupting.
So maybe, yeah. But there's three big things that strike me when it comes to Shamgar. The first one is that he wasn't shiny. Like, he wasn't like this king, like King David, that's got all this stuff.
I would say King David's not so shiny.
Well, yeah.
there's some blemishes on that shiny outside.
That's true. That's very true.
But still, I get what you mean. I get what you're saying here.
The idea of like the bigness of like who King David was.
Yep.
And then we have Shamgar. But we also know like his dad, Anath. That's all we have is his dad and him. And his dad, Aneth, his name is it's the name for a Canaanite god of war. So he's from a blended
great
family.
video game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's from a blended family, which, as we know, the Israelites did not like blended families at all.
No, they were pretty racist.
Yeah, they were not nice. But yet here's Shamgar, who at the end he saves them. The other thing that I thought was really cool is he didn't have the best equipment. Like, he had an ox goad, so he kills 600.
What is an ox goad?
It's this 6 to 8 foot long stick, basically, that has a pointy end and then more of a blunt end. And it's just used for steering the ox and like prodding them and like steering them around. So it's nothing like a sword. It's not it's kind of like Samson, like a jawbone. Like a jawbone, at least, like it's somewhat small, so you can wield it pretty well. This thing is like at least 6 to 8 feet long. So it's big.
He's a pretty strong dude.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. And then the last thing that I thought is always kind of cool is that Shamgar allowed God to use him, and he didn't like look around like waiting to see like who's around him. He was just like, yeah, here I am, like use me.
A little bit opposite of my story here today.
Yeah, and so I've always kind of clung to just some of those truths, and just the simple fact that like God already has chosen us to do what He needs us to do, and then we just have to, like Shamgar, like he didn't have the best background, he didn't have the proper equipment, if you will, but yet he was still willing and able to, yes, kill 600 Philistines, which it doesn't say like when he kills them, whether it was like wave after wave or like
600 just coming straight at him. That would have been fantastic.
And he just
That's a
has
movie and a
one
half. That's
ox
Hollywood
goad.
right there.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 hours of just Shamgar murdering Philistines.
Just with this stick. But just the simple fact that like, hey, like he was willing and able to be used to save the Israelites.
Yeah.
And he's one of the judges. He comes right after the story of Eglon and getting his guts stabbed, whatever. And here he is, just one verse, but yet there's still so much power in his story that we can learn from and gravitate to. In my case, just thinking of my life and how like I might not have the best speaking ability or the best equipment, or my life has blemishes in it, but yet as long as I'm willing and able to be used by the Lord.
Yeah, you take that 6-foot stick and you whack some Philistines.
Or crush some students.
Oh, there you go. Let's not do that.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you going to try it? Let me know if it's too hot. I'm a wuss. I always get iced coffee at the store. Burnt?
That's good.
Is it good?
It's strong, but it's good.
All right. I'll look forward to it.
I like my coffee like when I make my pour over stuff, there's a setting, like you can change different settings, and I make mine on boil black, which is the hottest that it goes, and then I drink it.
Okay.
And yeah, so I like you might want to wait a little.
I put it back down. I almost made it to my lips. I was like, nope. A couple little things here I wanted to say. Shamgar and the Ox Goads. We had a band when I was like in like 9th grade or something. Me and my friends, I kind of joined in. They had made a band, and it was Shamgar and the Ox Goads. And it was a worship band. We played worship music for the church and stuff, but it was just hilarious. Someone had made this nice wooden sign, and like a fancy carved out wooden sign that says Shamgar and the Ox Goads. It was awesome. We had a good time with that.
Now I want one.
Yeah.
Shamgar and the Ox Goads.
I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
And also, when my brother and me, that's awful English. I hope none of my English teachers watch this. Is it awful English?
I never remember if it's supposed to. I always just say my brother and I.
My brother and I
default
had a shared PS3 and an Xbox 360 or an Xbox 360. We didn't know what to do with our like username or whatever they call them. I don't even know. So we named it Ehud versus Eglon. That was our PlayStation name.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. A little tidbits of my history here before I get into my favorite Bible story, which is Jonah and the whale or the big fish, depending on which theologian or whoever you talk to.
We don't know what it was, but all we know is a big fish.
Of course, he is in the book of Jonah in the Bible. He's got his own book. He's cool. I've always really related to Jonah. It's a cool story, but me as a man and as a teenager have been pretty selfish and want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So when God says, go to Nineveh, these people don't know their left from their right. Go help them figure it out. And he goes, no, not gonna do that. See ya. I'm out.
Yeah.
And he jumps on a boat, heads to Tarshish. And
Tries
he's like,
to.
He tries to. He
Tries
makes it like half. I don't even know about halfway.
I
But
think they speculate it was about halfway.
of course, the story is he gets stuck in a storm, and they're like, "Oh no, we're in a storm." He says, "Just throw me overboard. It's gonna solve everything." And the big fish eats him up.
Just gulp.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Lives inside of a fish for 3 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he's in there, do you remember he prays?
Yeah.
And he says, "Lord, if you had told me about this before, I swear I would have done it different."
Yeah. He just kind of blames.
And he's like, "Just let me out."
Yep.
And God lets him out. And he's like, "All right, fine, I'll go to Nineveh." And he gets there, and he goes, "Wait, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it
he's like,
anymore."
okay, God, I'll do it.
And then he's sitting up there, and it's like a desert, right?
So yeah.
Something. He's really hot. There's no shade.
Yep.
He's dying.
He's sitting
presumably.
outside the city.
Yeah, and God's like, "Here's some shade." He brings up a gourd. In the
Yeah.
King James, it says gourd. I don't know if it's a plant or a tree.
It was some kind of plant.
Yeah,
or
to give him
tree
shade. And then the plant goes away, and he goes, "God, what'd you do?"
Yeah.
He took it away
Just
from
kill me.
Yeah, just kill me. And then he says again, if you told me this is how it ends, I would have done something different. And he's always blaming others. He's trying to get out of everything. But finally, he does what's right, and he saves the people of Nineveh, right?
For a
And
short
it's-
time.
Of course, the next book of the Bible is the first verse. Nineveh is destroyed by God.
Yeah.
That's not here nor there because he did God's
Yeah.
calling eventually.
Right.
But
And-
I've always related to Jonah because I want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God says do something. I go, I want to do me. My turn. And unfortunately, or fortunately, just like Jonah, it always ends up being God's way and not my way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's always like there's always that battle of, just like Shamgar. Like I'm sure he had some kind of questions that maybe he came to a decision faster. Like we don't really know.
yeah.
But we don't know whether he was like attacked by the Philistines or if God told him like, hey, you're going to go kill the Philistines, or he's just like, hey, we need to be freed from whatever it was. But yet he was still willing and able to. It's pretty good.
It's good.
It's good.
I like it.
But he was willing and able to just be used by the Lord and just say, hey, like, I don't have all the good stuff. I don't have a army with me, but I'll do it. But yeah, I relate to that too. Just like how we can be so me focused.
Yeah.
Like I say we as like humans, like it's a part of the downfall of mankind is just we can become so inward focused and like, well, I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to literally go the complete opposite way. And God, you can't catch me.
Right. Now, I'd like to put a disclaimer on favorite Bible story. Number one is obviously Jesus.
Absolutely, you're right. Yes.
Number one,
Yeah.
Jesus' love for us
Yeah, absolutely.
and
But-
God's love for us.
And there are other stories that are fun,
Sure,
and
yeah.
are good to read, like the Mama Bear story. And
Oh yeah, with "Go Up You Baldy," the kids making fun of bald Elijah. Elijah or Elisha? Elijah.
I think it
It's
is
the
Ja.
J. Yeah.
But no, yeah, it is fun to look at the different stories and just talk about them because there's a lot of good
That
things.
bear
and-
killed 40 children.
I mean, it's not good, but it's
There's some other stories that I'm not going to mention that are like, oh, this is in the Bible.
there's. If
So-
it was rated, it would definitely be rated R, but not in a bad way. But just it's a real like this is what happened.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy things that took place in the Bible days that I know sometimes people can get a little like, really, that was written in the Bible? Yeah, that's
I mean, stuff like that happens in the real world nowadays.
Yeah.
Just don't write a whole book about it.
yeah.
So,
So-
I don't know. I think Prince Harry wrote a whole book about it.
Oh, but no, it's been good. I love just talking about a couple stories and
Yeah.
there's many more that like we said we could bring up and talk about.
I could talk about this for a whole podcast series
Yeah,
called Hebrews, where we talk
called
about
Hebrews. There we go. fun Bible stories and things that are written, but also our lives and how it applies.
That's us.
Like there's so many times especially when it comes to being a dad. Like we already talked about this.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of stories about being
there's-
dads in the Bible.
Oh yeah. But just like
Bringing
you
Isaac
said,
up the mountain.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Oh
Like
my gosh. I can't
trying to
imagine
put
doing that.
myself in that situation. Like
I'd say no.
yes,
this
I
is
didn't
me
have
personally.
to. I didn't have to wait hundreds of years
Mm-hmm.
to see my son. Not only we could dive into their whole situation. Like I was just reading about it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, like that, like what they did, like we can talk about it later, anyways. But like I don't know what I would do, like if God said, like, hey, go take Rylan, like go up to this mountain, like you trust me, right? Go take him, go sacrifice him for me. Like what?
Yeah, it would be a hard no for me.
What? Like what?
Honestly, I'd have to figure something else. I'd have to figure it out. It would have to learn.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's a hypothetical, and I don't have
Right.
to.
Absolutely.
Take my
Yeah.
daughter
God,
up to the mountain.
God is not asking.
Well, it depends
us.
on which one. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
But it's so like just that realization that, you know, at the end of the day, like we are not that we're servants, but that our job is to worship him and to follow him regardless of how difficult it may be. Like just a little side story. Like I remember when I was trying to decide if I wanted, like I knew I wanted to go into ministry and I knew I wanted to do what I do, but the financial, good ASMR.
I didn't even mean it.
But the financial burden of school had me worried.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally at, it was a close friend's funeral. We called him Grandpa. That's how close like our families were. But
hold on, was he older or was he
yes,
like a
yeah,
friend?
he was older.
I was like, I'm thinking like a high school friend and like me
And we
and
call him
Andrew.
Grandpa.
Hey, Grandpa.
Grandpa Scott. No,
Sorry, not to laugh at the funeral, but
he was just a close family friend. He was older. And I was talking to somebody there who was in ministry, and he was like, yeah, maybe you should like try to save up some money first before you go to school and kind of work on getting some stuff together so you can pay for school and whatever. And I was trying to figure out, you know, financing for going to North Central. And I was like, I was short X amount of dollars to be able to go in the semester. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm going to do then. Like I just have to, like, I can't just randomly pull this money out of the air.
right. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah. But then God was like, and this is one of those cool things where, you know, sometimes God does do like, no, you're just going to go and then I'll make a way.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, he made a way and made it plain as day that that's what I needed to do. Like I got called randomly by somebody in the Assemblies of God that he's like higher up in, technically his title was district youth director.
Yeah.
And he calls me and we played phone tag trying to call back. And he's like, hey man, I got to talk to you about something. And long story short, he basically tells me that there's a donor in the state that wanted to give money to people to go into the ministry. And they asked for a list from North Central of who from the state was applying to go into the school. And my name was at the top of the list. And
At the top of the list. Because it's
top of the
alphabetical?
list. No.
Well, that's lucky.
Top of the
Or
list.
God's thing. It's God.
And the exact amount that I needed was the exact amount that they were donating to me. Like, you can't make some of this stuff up.
Was this an anonymous donor?
A totally anonymous donor.
Oh man, that'd be a shame. That'd be
Like,
cool to like have him on the podcast or her on
right?
the podcast.
Yeah. They'd be like, hey,
Like,
thank you
this
so
is
much.
this
Like,
is what you did to this man.
Yeah. But it
We
like
can
if-
blame them directly for what happened.
right. But it makes me think like, man, what if I would have ran? Like, what if I would have tried to say, you know what? No. I'm going to go to Eastern. I'm going to get my degree being an actuary. Like,
I don't know what
because
that means.
You crunch numbers all day. Like, you work with insurance companies to basically calculate.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No, but I knew I could make good money and I liked math. But I'd be stuck in a cubicle and that would not, like, I would die. But obviously God had different plans. I just had to follow him.
I'm thankful for it.
Follow him.
It wound you up here twice.
Twice, yeah. So yeah, no, we are super excited to continue. We hope you enjoyed a little bit of glimpse into our lives and some of our favorite stories. And I love that you kind of set that caveat. We could have probably said at the beginning.
We probably should have. You know what? I think I had thought of it and then I didn't even write. Guys, I don't know if you noticed. I took notes today. I actually like prepared. This is the beginning of the next. Like one or two, and then I forget to take notes, and then it's kind of winging it again. But we'll find out what happens. Yeah. But yeah, Jesus is the reason for the Bible.
Absolutely.
So he's the number one story.
Right. But there are some other stories that we do enjoy that have very real applications to maybe what we're walking through. And that's the beauty of Scripture. And the beauty, like one story that you read or one verse that you read might have a totally different grasp on my heart. And that's the beauty of, you know, how the Holy Spirit works through Scripture. Like, it's all God breathed and God everything, yes, but it also, like, people's understanding of the stories, it can be so different.
Yeah.
So we're excited to, we might come back to this. I think that'd be fun to talk about maybe another story,
Sure.
a couple episodes, or maybe next season if we split up in seasons. I don't know. We're still trying to figure some of this stuff out, but, but we are excited to continue to just talk about, our lives and how the things that we read, like the story of Shamgar or Jonah, and how they can directly influence, some of the decisions that we make as fathers.
Yep.
Especially in the world around us that is nuts and crazy and
almost as crazy as the Bible times.
I was going to say it's literally like Nineveh.
I know.
At times there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense why people well, I guess it does make sense why people gravitate to it, because it's
Sure.
self-pleasing.
Yeah.
We just talked about it. Like, we as humans, we're so selfish at times, but yet we have to remember that, at the end of the day,
You still have to subscribe and like and comment. No, sorry.
don't be selfish.
No, but honestly, we'd love to hear from you. Comment down in the comments below.
Yeah.
If you have a question for us you want to hear, like part of our life,
Send
part
us an
of
email.
our being
drop it in the
parents.
comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Email should be in the description. Otherwise, it's thehebrews.podcast@gmail.com.
The Hebrews Podcast at gmail.com.
And we'd love to answer your questions. We've got a couple more things that we've kind of brainstormed and talk about of doing, but that would be fun. Like, hey, what do you think about this? Or tell us a little bit more about that. It'd be super fun to answer some of those questions.
Yes.
And yeah, we definitely appreciate you tuning in, and we hope to catch you on the next one. Remember, 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's Thursdays at 5 a.m. We release a new episode every week.
Yep.
I know we said we were going to do twice a month, basically. So every other week.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-monthly. Yeah, that whole...
We're going to do quad weekly. Quad monthly.
Well, unless there's 5 weeks.
If there's 5 weeks, we'll do 5 in a month.
Quint weekly?
Quint weekly?
Yeah.
No, that's not. That's 5 times a week.
Oh, no. We are not doing that. But we are going to still strive for and try to hit that every week. I know it's been super fun. And I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope I know you have too.
I'm having a great time.
It's a good time.
Good times.
We hope that you guys are enjoying it as well. Remember to like and subscribe wherever you're at.
That's right.
Check out our Instagram. We've got an Instagram up now.
That's true. I put a picture. If you listened to last podcast, the best parts about being a dad, I explained that my favorite part was when my then 2-year-old daughter peeked over the bassinet and took a peek at my brand new baby daughter 6 years ago. I put up a picture on Instagram, so go check it out.
Check it out.
Hebrews Podcast, Instagram. If you can't find it, find Andrew Eliason or me and tag down in the comments or whatever. I don't even know. I don't know.
Search it.
Google.
Search it. All right. Well, hey, thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you next week.